Freak, Freak, Speed Freak, the Greek Freak, Freak. What's going on, everybody? Mike McIntyre here from All Things Sports, back with a brand new video. I'm super pumped that you're here. Before we begin, please hit that subscribe button, please hit the bell notification, and if you're interested in joining our new membership program, please find that button down below. Any of the proceeds will help benefit this channel. Everything will go back into the channel to keep bringing you guys new videos, new reviews, and new cool content. So with that being said, let's get into this new review. Now today I have the brand new Adidas Predator Freak. This is the 2021 model. They have done a few little minor tweaks to last year's Predator 20 Plus, the Mutator. Now they've dropped the whole numbering scheme from their name. It's no longer the Predator 21. It is simply the Predator Freak. So they've gone back to using a code name, if you will, to designate which generation boot it is. So back in the day we had Predator Accelerator, Predator Pulse, Predator Absolute. We've kind of gone back to that. We had last year's Mutator with the number. Now they've dropped the number and they've gone to a new name, a new generation, the Predator Freak. Let's get into it. So unboxing, the box is exactly like last year's, this drawer style box. For the Plus model you get a string bag, a shoehorn, and the boots themselves. Extremely large shoehorn, which I recommend you use it. And of course we have the string bag. String bag is nothing different than what we're used to getting from Adidas. There is no seam down the middle for what it's worth this time around. Black string bag mesh material with that Predator in that highlighter kind of logo color, whatever. The Predator Freak. What can I say about it? So when I first saw the pictures of these, I was a little unsure as to what to think of them. I wasn't exactly thrilled by the colorway when I first saw it online, but they do look better in person. The blue and this highlighter yellow definitely go well together. They kind of complement each other quite well. We have a black rear portion of the boot and it kind of fades into this nice real royal blue accent color. We have white stripes and then of course that highlighter yellow that plays around with all of the demonskin fins. Now, I don't know if there are more fins this time around, to be honest, because on the Predator Plus model, we did have a lot of fins on the old one, particularly on the medial side of the boot, but there are more fins when we get to, first off, the top half over here and the lateral side over here. On the old boot, there were fewer fins here and they kind of faded into this thin little line and it faded away right about over here. Now they're a little bit more spread out. They're not nearly as dense on the lateral side as on the medial side, but they definitely cover up more of the upper. And now you have the fins on the upper tongue as well. I don't know how I feel about that. I think that'll definitely be determined by the feel on feet. And then we do have a new collar, and other than that, the boot is more or less the same. We have the same control frame outsole here. It's a two-piece outsole. These funny teardrop shaped studs, again, I wish they were a little bit more conical, but overall I can't complain too much about them because they still do allow you to pivot. I do like the sole plate, other than the stud shape. Nothing to complain about there. External heel counter, which I'm a fan of. We still have that same demonskin upper material, so it is a prime knit base that they use a different kind of weaving pattern to create the demonskin, and then of course with the addition of all the grippy elements, you get the demonskin upper that's featured on the Predator. You do get this Predator branding on the tongue here, which is new for this year, and again the collar is slightly tweaked a little bit, which we'll get into right now. So it's still just as high as the old one, if not a little bit different shaped. I don't think it comes up quite as high on the front, but the back part definitely comes up as high. And this time around they've created a two-piece collar, if you will. They kind of, if anything, it looks like they've taken some sort of inspiration from the Nemesis with the way that these patterns, or the way that these two collar pieces actually mesh together. We have the forefoot piece that kind of gets sewn into the back part of the boot following the shape of my hand. and then the rear part is overlapped to hide those seams and kind of wrap around the front half like this. So you get this two-piece collar. The idea is to help make it a little bit easier to get on. You can see the two pieces right there. Other than that, the colorway, I do like the colorway, and there's not too much difference in terms of the upper other than a few more additional elements. The collar is the biggest thing, and that's pretty much it for the Predator Freak. Let's slip them on feet, and we'll talk about fit and feel. So there I have it, the Predator Freak on feet, and my first impressions are, it still feels really tight, but for whatever reason, I don't think it feels quite as restrictive as last year's Predator 20 Plus Mutator. For whatever reason, it does feel a little bit more comfortable through the midfoot, and my first guess is that's down to the new collar and just a little bit different shape of that midfoot area. The forefoot I actually don't have too much of an issue with. It's relatively wide and comfortable in the toe box area. I don't really have too much of an issue either with the heel. It's just that midfoot area. I find it really quite restrictive and quite tight, but again, not as restrictive nor as tight as last year's Mutator 20 Plus. The two-piece collar design definitely makes it easier to get on, but the drawback to it is that you get this really exaggerated heel piece sticking out off of your foot, which I'm just not a big fan of. You get this big extra bit of material that just gets detached from your foot. It doesn't follow the shape of your ankle nearly as well as last year's model because it was one piece. So I would just shed off about 1 inch or so of that rear collar piece because I really don't think it's needed. There's still a very snug boot in the midfoot, but I definitely have more faith in these fitting wider footed people, especially if you give them the chance to break in. The fins, I don't notice the fins, at least without touching a ball, I don't notice the fins on top of the tongue area. They don't get in the way or anything like that, and I suppose when you actually strike a ball, that's usually where you make contact when you hit it with power. So for the most part, I don't really have an issue with the fins on the top prime knit material. So overall, it's a really good update. My only critique is that high collar. I don't think it's needed because of this new two-piece design. So that's pretty much it for the on-feet part of the video. Let's send it back to the desk and we'll wrap the video up. So there you have it, guys, my review of the brand new Predator 20, sorry, that's not what they're called anymore. That's my review of the Predator Freak Plus model. It's gonna take me a while to get used to that. Freak Plus, Freak 0.1. I do like the name change, to be honest. While it's not necessarily as clear as having the year attached to the generation, I'm a big fan of having a name associated with a certain generation. The old Predators had Accelerator, Pulse, Precision, Absolute, all those. I was a fan of that. So we're kind of heading back in that direction. So this is the Predator Freak. I think the Freak name is kind of stupid if I'm honest, but at least it's a name, you know, associated with a generation rather than the number. It's a good solid update in my opinion. I'm a big fan of this Predator Freak and I actually like this colorway. So that's pretty much it for this video. Please let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, smash it with a like. It always helps the video out. Hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification if you want to see more from All Things Sports. And that's pretty much it. Mike McIntyre signing off for now. All Things Sports. I'll catch you in the next video. Till then, take care. Peace.